Alright guys, we're going to cover a few things. We're going to give some prices, potential targets for Bitcoin, short term and macro. And we're going to cover some charts, maybe some altcoin prices as well, and also gold and palladium, maybe some stocks. So first thing, I did a live stream. This is just a screenshot of the live stream. It'll probably take a couple days before YouTube puts this up. It takes a while to process the stream that went on for like 4 days. But this was a Kraken chart I had playing. This is Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP. This is the actual chart here. I had these lines a little thicker. You can see how well price is respecting each one of the channels in this white fib circle. And you can see I had an upside target and I had a downside target. Well, I want to show you how I had all of these charts available during that stream, so anyone could click on it. And again, these are published charts, so that means when you click on them, you have to keep hitting refresh and you have to hit the play button to update the price action. My charts are live. You don't have to hit the play button. They're shareable. You can save them as your own. They work on all devices. But again, these can't be edited. Once you publish it the way it is, it stays that way. You cannot change it. But I do want to show you each one of these, how they played out. So if I hit play on this, again, this was published on December 30th. You can see how well price respected this this white fib circle here. And the great thing about it is when you find these fib circles in the larger time frame, you got perfect rejection here, found support on this ring, found resistance on this ring, which told you, okay, we're probably coming down to the next ring. We came down and hit it to the tick. This is this green line here is part of a fib channel. So you're respecting the fib channel and the fib circles at the same time. We were stuck underneath this this green line. Then you have this liquidation wick. Look where it came up, right to this ring, right to the tick. Came back down, you found support, and it dropped below, it came back up, you get stuck under the green line again, we came up above it, then you got rejection. And I was telling people in that stream, it looks like we're probably going to have a drop because we can't make it above this green line, so we're probably going to drop down into this channel, and that's what we did. We came down, perfect support, and as you can see, that's where I was telling people the target was. And that is the target we hit. We came down, we hit that target, we got a bounce, came back up to the next ring above, and came back down, hit it again, moved up, and then we dropped below, and we came down to this line in this fib channel. So these charts are on point, guys. This is Bitcoin dominance. I use the same method to chart these. You said we're respecting this fib channel. I also have these rings in here. So this yellow ring is a potential can be support, but it's also respecting this fib channel. So this is published on the 28th. So if I play this out, you can see that we found, let me zoom in a bit. So we found some support on this this yellow ring here, and we found resistance on this this orange ring. Came back up, perfect resistance on this yellow ring. Now we're working within this channel, and I'm assuming it'll probably continue down this channel. I'll need to update this, add some more fib circles. Just want to show you how these played out. This is BCH. We're respecting multiple fib channels here. I'm sorry, multiple fib circles. This blue fib circle and this these orange fib circles. You can see that we were finding. Well, I can go back here. You can see we're caught. We were caught in different channels of this fib circle. So we were finding. He moved up, found support and resistance. We moved up to this one, got rejected, moved above it. Also working within these yellow fib circles. Found resistance, came back down. We were stuck in this channel. We're finding support on it. Finally, we broke through down to this channel, or right to this ring. Broke through. This is the next ring down. We came up. It was resistance. We kept testing it. Finally pushed above it, found support. Then we got rejected by this yellow one. You can see we were squeezed by this yellow ring and this blue ring. That sent us up to this orange ring. We came back down, perfect support. Came back below as resistance. So it's respecting these fib circles. So when you have these fib channels and these fib circles, again, it's a cheat sheet. So if you hit play, you can see what happens. There's resistance, support, resistance. Came back underneath this blue ring, couldn't make it above it, and you're also respecting this white ring. So when you can't make it above this blue ring and this white ring, that tells you it's going to be dropping down. And where did it drop to? Right to this orange fib circle. Found support, came back up, dropped below. Currently it's moving down. So it looks like your next target for Bitcoin Cash is around $186 if we continue down, which looks like that's what's going to happen. Let's see, Litecoin. So we're respecting the blue fib circle and we're also respecting this orange fib circle. I have some inner rings and outer rings turned off, so there's not too much going on. But if I hit play, I'm going to show you how well it's been respecting. Also, this yellow fib circle, there's a lot of resistance. You can see it came up, found resistance on this blue ring, came back down, found resistance, dropped right down to this blue ring. We came back, we came up, we dropped back down. This was liquidation right here. That's the point of this. That's why it shot up to liquidate shorts. Came back down, found support. We pushed up. When you make it above this ring, your next target will be the ring above. We came back above it, found support, dropped below. You see we had this wick, came up right to this blue ring. We dropped down, found support on this yellow ring, and then we dropped down below it. Let's see, Ethereum. Ethereum, you can see we've been respecting this blue fib circle going back a ways. Well, this is as far back as it goes on the 1 hour on a published chart. We see we're finding support and resistance on this ring. As soon as you drop below it, we found resistance. So that meant we were coming down. We were respecting these fib channels as well. But ultimately, it came down to this blue ring. Came back up, got rejection on the fib channels, respecting this white fib circle. You see we dropped down, we found support on this blue ring. We dropped down past it, came down to this next line, this white ring. This is the next white ring down in this fib circle. We were finding support on it, we dropped past, came right down to this blue ring, came up, found resistance, we finally found support on it. We moved right back up to the blue ring above. We dropped down, we found resistance and support. Blue ring at the top for rejection, support, more support, resistance, came down to support. Then we hit it again, and this is the time I published it on the 28th. So if I hit play, we actually made it above this blue ring. So where was your target? The next blue ring above and this white ring here. So you're working with these multiple fib circles at the same time. We came down, we got resistance below this white ring. We came back down, we're also working with this green fib circle. Now I can go crazy and add as many fib circles as I want. Some people want more, some people want less, but the more you have, the more idea of where you can get ideas where price is going. See, we bounced off this green one, we got rejected this green one, we came down, we found resistance. That tells me it's going to be coming down. Where do we hit? This next green fib circle down. If we drop down, your next target would be around $124.59. And then this here, you can see where we dropped down. This wick came all the way down here. This was to liquidate longs. You can see this wick came down right to this line in this fib channel. There's a lot of lines intersecting here. Perfect support. Came back up. You know, we found support on this ring. But this is the same ring right here where we came down, found perfect support. So if we drop again, this is the same ring. So if Ethereum drops down, your next support, you're going to have support on these lines as well as this ring here, but your ultimate target, if we keep dropping down, is $122.73. And if we push up, you're going to find rejection at this blue ring, which should be around 130. It looks more likely that, you know, it's possible we could continue riding up. This is pretty much sideways, going sideways up this ring, and then we'll get rejected here around 128 and then push down. So that's why it's great having these rings, because you can find out what general direction price is traveling. We're traveling down this channel, and you can see that this ring here was support, so it only makes sense that we'll either, even if we go sideways, your target, we're headed down. So your target is potentially, you know, this line or this ring right here, which right here my cursor is at 122.64, over here to 123.32. So that was Ethereum. This is XRP. You see XRP is respecting this yellow fib circle beautifully. We were finding this is the lowest ring. Actually, this is a ring below, but as you can see, we're finding a lot of support on this ring. We pushed up, we found support, we pushed up higher, we got rejected at this line. But you see, we're working with these channels, support and resistance on this ring. We found support on this ring. You're also getting rejection. This is a line in the fib channel. Come down and get stuck in this channel, this channel. This channel, you come up here. This is liquidation wick. Got stopped right at this this blue line. I always say look left. This was a lot of resistance. So when this liquidation wick came up, this would be an ideal point to sell if you were riding it up. And you can see that we came back down, and we're working within these channels. And if I play it out, you can see that it's still respecting this this yellow fib circle here. Pushed up, found support on it. Came underneath it, found resistance, got rejected, dropped down to the next one as support. Underneath is resistance, came back down to support, pushed back above it, found support on it, broke below it, and if we continue down, which it looks like we are, XRP, your next ultimate target, your first target, I mean, you can see you're going to find support on this ring here, so that'd be around 18.5 cents, but your ultimate target looks like it's going to be about 18.3%, something like that. So again, that's XRP. I am also charting stocks, guys. If you're interested in having me chart anything for you guys, altcoins, bitcoins, or stocks, all you have to do is send me an email. My email is in the description. We would like to show you how this played out. Price has been respecting this, again, this is Facebook, respecting this yellow fib circle and this blue fib circle. You can see already when I published this on the 28th, you know, we bounced off of this blue fib circle and this yellow fib circle. See, this here was a lot of resistance and support. We came back down, we pushed back up. You see we got topped out right at the top of this yellow fib circle. We actually hit it 2 times. 1 time, 2 times, and then we're right here at this blue ring. So if I hit play, you see we came back down, we came up, we hit this ring, we got rejected, and we pushed back up. So if we push up higher, you're still going to get rejection up here at $209.67. If you can't make it above, you'll come back down, you'll find support on this blue ring. If we push higher, your next target up here, that's why I have upside targets, is going to be around potentially $222. If we can't make it above this, then it's going to be coming back down to test potentially $200, and then if you fall below this, your next ultimate target is this blue ring down here, which is around 199. These are at an angle, so having access to the charts gives you a better idea, because when you make contact, depends on what price will be. Just want to show you how these stocks played out. I'll show you some more of these later. This is Apple. Let me play this. Again, I only published this on the 28th. Stock market, I don't think it's open during New Year's, so there's not much data to go on yet, but the great thing is these fib channels and these fib circles. I mean, once you learn this method, understand this method, how to chart, I mean, you can see price has been respecting this orange fib circle. You find support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. So you know when you get to the next ring, you're going to get rejected. You hit this ring, found resistance. This right here is also a ring. You can see that we're finding support on it. So if we drop down, this would be your next major support. We push back up, hit this ring, came above it. You're also working with this white ring, moving up it as support and resistance. But look where your next target was, this orange ring. You see we made it above it, came down, found support on it. And we're finding resistance on these rings as well. If I hit play, you can see that actually Apple's doing pretty good. We made it above this this yellow ring. So your next target is this yellow ring above. You can see it says upside target. So we continue up. Your target for Apple is around $306. And if we start coming back down, your target would be around 292. But that's just to cover some of these charts and just show you how they played out. So let me go back to the actual the Kraken chart, and we'll cover some of these prices. So this is the chart that was in the live stream, also when I showed you the published version. So you can see we broke down past this ring. I don't have any more rings set for this chart. Let me see here. I think that was the last ring. But you can see that we also have been respecting. Let me hide this one. And let me turn these rings on right here. And that's a great thing. The further you go back and you find these larger rings, you can really get an idea of what price action is doing. So let me make this brighter so you can see them. So you can see that we're also respecting, so I got rid of another fib circle that gave you smaller targets. But for larger targets, you can see that we've been respecting this larger white fib circle here. This was back here. This is perfect support going all the way back here. And you found support here. We moved up to this ring. We found support on it. We moved sideways. And then we came down. We found resistance on this one. We found, well, we moved above it, came back below it. We came up to this ring, found support on this ring, came back up to this ring. We broke past this ring. So now I'll remove this. This was just for the live stream, guys. But you can see that we're moving down, so your next target, your next ultimate target, your first target, if we keep continuing down, you can see that this yellow ring right here, and it does go back a ways, but you can see we're finding support on this yellow ring. Support here, support here. You can see we found support right here. So your next first target, if we continue down, is going to be, you know, depends on if we drop straight down or if we kind of move. We could find support on this yellow, on this red line. And remember, guys, it's going to go up and down. People are in leverage positions. You know, they can liquidate these longs and shorts. So, you know, we could potentially push back up and get rejected at this this pink ring right here or this white ring. So we could push back up, get rejection, and come down, or we can continue down. But ultimately, we are headed down, in my opinion. So your next target is going to be, again, this is Bitcoin on the Kraken chart. Your target is going to be around 6,728. You break below that, again, we're going from ring to ring. We got rejected here, found support, we found support and resistance, we drop below. So your next target is 6,714. We drop below that, your next target is 6,595. And then the ring below that, we continue down, is going to be 6,126. And remember that 6,126, because when I go into the macro chart, you know, this is going to play a role as well. And that's what they refer to all of the charts, because they can show you potential targets in one chart that you might not see in another chart. This here is Bitcoin. This is a Binance chart. You can see this chart, we were respecting this white fib circle. This is, you see this is the next ring down right here. Actually, I can turn some multiple rings on here. Let's make sure this is bright. So you can see we're respecting this channel here. We dropped down, we dropped below this ring, we find resistance, came back up. We got rejected at this yellow ring here. Then we came back down in this channel. Again, this was complete. This is just for liquidation, guys. And this wick that went up. We were working with this channel. We came back up, found support on it. We dropped down. We came below this ring. We found resistance on this orange ring and this white ring. Came back down right to this white ring. Pushed back up, working within this red ring here as support and resistance. We found support. We went below it. We could not make it back above. It was resistance. You see we found support on this line. I think this is line in the fib channel. Actually, let me zoom out. Yeah, that is a line. So we found support on this. So your next target, according to this chart on Binance, your next target down, you can see we did wick below. We were pretty much finding support on this blue ring, but we did find resistance here. So your next target, your first target down would be 6,800. But your ultimate target, if we come down, you will be respecting all of these rings and these fib channel lines. So your first target below 6,800 is going to potentially be 6,429. Again, you'll be respecting these lines as well. So 6,327. But take note, your next support. And you can go back and see we were finding support and resistance. You can go back further price action. If you have these charts, you can go back as far as you want. The live versions, you have the same charts I use. These are the live charts that you'll be able to, basically you can zoom in and out, up and down, and use your mouse wheel. You can scroll like that. So you can go back and look at price action and see how it, previous lines and fib circles respecting. Because you can see this ring right here, we got perfect resistance. Finding perfect support on it. We broke through, came down to this white fib circle, push back up, found resistance on this one. But again, guys, you know, down here I have a target. I'm sorry, right here is 5,916, and this is all part of the same fib circle. So it depends on how far we go. And you know, we drop down this, we can move back up potentially. We can hit this ring and then come down. Always pay attention to different charts. I do want to cover some of these. This is the Bybit chart. You can see we're working within this blue fib circle here. We came above it. We're respecting this line in this fib channel. Always look left, guys. This was a lot of support and resistance. You see we had a wick right up here, got topped out. So that tells you if we pushed up, this would be a potential target to sell. But we came back down, got stuck in this channel, hit it to the tick, came back down, hit it again. Well, actually, we didn't make it all the way down. We found support here. Well, as soon as we crossed this yellow ring, we pushed up perfect rejection, right to the tick on this blue ring, came back down, hit it again, pushed back up, we wicked above it, but you see the meat of the candle was right here on this blue ring, then we came back down, support and resistance on this blue ring. So your next target is going to be this, this is a fib circle as well. You can see right here we kind of just dropped through it, but your next target, according to this chart, 6,788. I need to update this chart. I need to go through and add some more fib circles and extend these fib channels out, because they're like 5 or 6 days old. But you do have support here. Again, the fib channels are respecting as well. That's 6,624. And I need to pull this out. But you can see you got a line here at 6,153. Remember that previous chart I showed you? Remember that number around 6,100. This is going to be a very strong support level. I'll show you that in the macro chart. This here is the Coinbase chart. And what's interesting about this one, I have a lot on this chart, but sometimes a lot can help you actually figure out what's going on. Let me make this brighter. Let's see here. So this is one down. Let's make it really bright. So you can see that we were finding support. Let me move this out of the way. So we were finding support on this this white fib circle as well as this white fib circle. As soon as we broke through, we came up, found rejection on this yellow and blue one. We came back down, perfect support. As soon as we broke through, we broke right down to this white fib circle. So it's possible we could just continue dropping. It makes more sense that we might kind of ride up this. We'll get rejected up here around 7,027. If we do push up, that's the highest point I see us going, and we'll get squeezed between this white fib circle and this one before having another drop. And your ultimate target, according to this chart, and again, we're respecting all of these rings, so you'll catch a bounce on all of these. It doesn't mean you'll catch a big bounce, but always pay attention to all these rings. But your next target down below, 6,539. The next ring below is 6,345. This ring is around 6,225, and then you have this yellow ring around 6,070. So again, guys, always pay attention to previous charts. I would like to show you, before we go to the macro scale, I'm going to show you why these rings work so well. This is a stock chart I created for a client. This is for Cleveland Cliffs. This yellow fib circle here, you can see how well price is respecting this. We came down, found perfect support. We found support, came back down, resistance support, came right down to this ring, popped up to this ring, came back down to some support, came back below. We were respecting this fib channel line, came up as resistance, came below resistance. Then we got stuck in this channel, broke below to this channel. If you go below this ring, your next target's this ring. You come back up, your target's this ring. Now sometimes it doesn't make it all the way down, but you can see it came back up. It found resistance. It tried to break above. It did. But the beauty of this is I gave you rings for these yellow rings are rings for targets to the upside and the downside. You see, as soon as we got stuck in this channel, we've been in this channel back since, again, this Cleveland Cliffs. But you can see back since, well, actually, this is going back 2014. We've been stuck in this same channel here. We did drop briefly below into this channel, but once we got back into this channel, you know, we've been stuck in this channel between these two rings since 2016 back here, and you can see how far back this goes. Once you find one of these fib circles where price is respecting it, perfect support, you move up, you get support. You find support and resistance. You find support, broke through, you came up, found perfect support, support again. So once you find these fib circles on larger scale, you know that price is going to respect these because it's been respecting it going so far back. So, you know, if we continue down, your target is around $6.93. You break below that, your next target is going to be around, you know, $2.91. If we find support, you can see we're also respecting this fib channel. So we're finding support and resistance. Right now we're underneath it. So if we're getting squeezed between this green line and this yellow ring, so either we're going to break down or we're going to push up. But the beauty of this is when you have other fib circles for potential, say I call these yellow rings would be support and resistance. This white fib circle right here, These are fib circles I find that can give you potential pivots. You can see that we came down, we found support resistance on it. Once we hit this ring, we rode up this ring. So once we hit this ring, I saw we were moving up it. I would buy in and wait till we crossed and then sell. You can see we came down, found support on this green line. We did it again as soon as we hit this white fib circle. Now I probably would have sold when we crossed, but you can see we kept going up after it. We came down, we found support on this ring again. So we'll continue sideways. Potentially this could be a pivot point. We could ride up it, cross again, or this could actually send us down. But either way, you know, you have a target to the upside and you have a target to the downside. Let's see, this is Tesla. You know, I wish I had published charts so I could show you where price was at the time. You know, I had my upside target. We were respecting this red fib circle. We were finding, you can see back here, we're stuck in this channel, support resistance. Also respecting the yellow fib circle and the red fib circle and the blue fib circle. But you can see we were finding support and resistance in this yellow fib circle channel. We broke through down to this one. You can see that we came down. We found we broke below it. That's why I'm saying respecting this blue fib circle. We came back up, found support in this on this red fib circle. We pushed up. We found resistance and support on this blue one. Pushed up, found support and resistance on this yellow one. So if we continue up, your next target for Tesla is $482. You push above that, your next target is $513, and then up here is $565. Of course, if we get rejected and we come back down, your next target will be this red ring right here, which is $377. We push down below that. Remember, rings will be resistance and support, so you can potentially ride down this ring. Your next target below would be 288. You drop below that, you're looking at 189. This is just to show you how well these fib channels and fib circles work. This here is gold. At the time I published this, I'm not really sure. Again, it doesn't give you the date when you create a chart. Actually, when I created this chart, I could probably go back and find the date I created this chart. But the point is, guys, when you find these rings, it respects these rings. You can see it was finding support and resistance on this white ring. We broke above it. Didn't quite make it to this one. Came back down, found support. These yellow rings are pivots. Came back up, crossed. Came below, it was resistance. This yellow ring is a perfect pivot. We rode up it, we crossed it, we dropped down, came right down to this blue ring. We were finding support and resistance between the blue ring and the white ring. We moved up this white ring, and you can see we came up. We're stuck on this line in this fib channel. It looks like we're moving up, so we potentially push up. Again, this is gold, so we could potentially push up to 1,536. If we don't make it above that, chances are we're going to get squeezed between this this line, this fib channel, and this white fib circle. So if we don't make it above this, your next ultimate target to the downside will be 1,484. You push below that, your next target is going to be downside target, where I had 1,465, which we did hit. But you go below that, your target is 1,453, and then you got this next fib circle down, which is around, well, over here would be 1,430. But if we push above this white ring and find support, your next two targets above are going to be 1,591 and then 1,612. So again, guys, this is showing you how well these fib circles work for support and resistance as well as pivots. And that's what I do. I go through these, and occasionally I'll update. You know, we're still respecting this white fib circle really well, and this blue one. These are in place. They're still going to be in play. But you can see that the next time we might have a pivot that we can actually predict when that might happen. This is way out here, 27th of February. So I could go and add some more fib circles to give you potential pivots. I probably could have found this pivot if I looked for it. But that is gold. So if we go to, this is Palladium. This chart's been pretty accurate as well. When I created this, I said your upside target was 1,940. And I said your downside target was 1,678. So at the time I created it was probably around here. But you can see we're respecting this red fib circle and this yellow fib circle. So actually the downside target was hit. I said the downside target was 1,678. You can see we dropped right to 1,600. 1,679. So I was off by $1. And then I said if it continues pushing up, your target is 1,944. And you can see we hit that, went above it. We came back down, found resistance, found support on this red ring, pushed up. Now we are above, well, we were above here as well, but we were still underneath this blue fib circle. Now we are above this blue fib circle and above this yellow ring. So it looks to me like we're going to be going higher for Palladium. So these will be your targets. Again, you respect the fib channels and the smaller blue fib circle for smaller targets. So we'll come up, probably get a little rejection, push higher, find rejection, come back down. But ultimately, your next target above, your first major target is 2,239. That would be insane if Palladium went that high, but I didn't expect Palladium to go this high in the first place. But your next target above that, which makes sense because you're going from yellow ring to yellow ring to yellow ring. So your next ultimate target, which coincidentally is right within this red fib circle, which has been a lot of resistance and support. See, it curls back around. That would be right up here around 2,362. But I mean, Palladium's just been going crazy. I mean, it was down here at in 2016 it was $457, and now Palladium is at 1,953. So I don't see why it couldn't hit this target of 2,267. You push above that, your next ultimate target is 2,786. But again, guys, these fib circles work. When you find this, I use fib channels to map out price. Once I create the fib channels and have them set up correctly, I use the fib channels to find these fib circles, and you can see from showing you all these charts how accurate this is. And I do have tutorials, guys. If you visit my website, the information is in the description. I have tutorials. You can pay for access. I show you how to create these charts from scratch to find these fib circles to get these price targets, so you know where price is potentially going. This here is silver. I didn't have any targets at the time, but you can see that we were respecting this yellow fib circle and this blue fib circle. So you can see what happened. We were stuck. We find resistance under this blue one, this yellow one, and this blue one. We moved above it, found support. We were riding up this white ring. Again, this was a larger. This is a pivot ring, but in a larger scale. We rode right up this ring, moving from yellow ring to yellow ring to yellow ring. See, we got resistance at this yellow ring. We pushed up, got resistance to this yellow ring, came back down. We crossed this white ring. This would be a point I would sell, because we were riding up this ring. All of a sudden you cross it, that's your trajectory change. But you see, we came back down. There's a lot of gaps in this. We found rejection at this white ring, came down, found support on this yellow ring. You see, we came up, found resistance on this red ring. We crossed it, came back up, found resistance on this blue ring, came back down to this blue ring, and then you can see, but basically this yellow ring is what we're finding support and resistance on. So the yellow ring is the main one to pay attention to. So if it looks like we're finding a lot of resistance on this yellow ring, so if we come back down, your first support level for silver is going to be $16.14. You drop below that, you're looking at $15.49. Below that, $14.68. But if we push up, your next target above, $17.93. This is going to be resistance. This will be $19. And if we push up higher, your ultimate target is going to be this yellow ring that we've been respecting going way back. I mean, way back. I mean, this goes all the way back to, back here, this white fib circle, this is 2016. This is the next ring down from this one here. But you can see we're finding perfect resistance on it, support. Pushed up to this one is resistance, support. Came back down to this one, back up to this one. So once you have this set up, you have a general idea where price is going, and then these smaller fib circles give you a target to potentially ride up. So as soon as you move up past this yellow one, you see we're finding support on this blue one, drop down below it, back to this yellow one. We're finding resistance on this blue ring right here, find support, find resistance and support, resistance on this bottom ring. So all of these are in play. So, and that's why you know that if you push up, you have these targets. Your smaller targets are the blue rings, your larger targets are the yellow rings, and then you also have these rings as potential pivots to ride up as well as this white ring here. But that pretty much covers. I just wanted to show you how these fib circles work for helping you determine where price is going, and that is the same thing I do with Bitcoin and with the altcoins. So you can see this Kraken chart: perfect resistance, perfect support, perfect resistance, perfect support. So your next ultimate target is going to be this ring right down here. It's 6,592. And then down here, this is the next perfect target, and this goes with my macro chart, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, is 6,118. So let me load up the macro chart and show you why I think this is a very important target. Okay, so if I go to charts here, go to Bitcoin. So this is BTC related charts. This is called the BTC Capitulation Cycle chart. So all I want to show you with this, and I'm sure you guys have seen this chart plenty of times, but this center line in this pitchfork, we capitulated from it 3 times. As soon as we broke support, we came down. You see this fib circle here, we found support on this ring, support on this ring, support on this ring, and you can see over here in 2018, this is where it dropped 6K to 3K. As soon as we broke support, we dropped down to this line, then to the next line. We kind of were finding support and resistance on this line. Let me turn these inner rings on, guys. You can see that we came up to this line. We had little volatility here. We came up to this line. We had more volatility. We came up to this line. Didn't make it above it. We bounced back up and forth in this channel between this line and this line. We capitulated from this line a 3rd time right here. We came down. We moved back up. Found perfect resistance. And then we came back down to this line. You can see we came below it, but we were finding support and resistance, you know, bouncing back up and forth. And you can see how well respected this red fib circle here. We capitulated right here. We found support on this red ring here. Came back up. Perfect support on this red ring. Got caught in the channel between these 2 rings. And there's actually one more ring I need to turn on. You see, then we got stuck in this channel, pushed up, and then you can see we, you know, we pivoted it up. We came up to this ring, got rejected. Also with this line, perfect support on this ring, came back up. As soon as we went up above this red ring, we got top to this line, and we were riding down this red ring. We pushed up, and then when we crossed this this yellow ring, we came down, found support on this center line. We capitulated from 3 times now. Came down, came back up, and guys, I was telling you, pay attention to this ring because we hit it and we found resistance, then we crossed it, and now we're coming down. So our next target, according to this chart, you know, if we come down, you know, we might ride up this ring, we could hit this ring and just drop faster, but ultimately our first target is going to be around 6,200. If it's further out, this could be 6,250. But this does go along with that chart. You know, this first ring down is 6,589. You know, we come down lower, your next target is around 6,118. So, you know, that goes right with this line. You know, we can drop below, come back above, but I do believe this is our next target, which is going to be around 6,200, but I do think we'll drop below it, and I do think that ring on that chart is a very good target. So look at around 6,100 to be your next target. And then, you know, your next line below that is going to be potentially 5,200. The next line below that is 4,300. And if you'll notice, you know, where this ring intersects this line, this is 3,500 right here. So I think we have a lot lower to go than a lot of people think, but this is the time to pay attention to. We are, before we hit this this yellow ring, you know, this is on the daily, so we're looking at about maybe 3 days before we hit this yellow ring. But I do think that since we are crossing this red ring, we have a lot lower to go. Even if we temporarily find support on this white line here, you know, going up and down, our next target is down below. I think we have a lot lower to go, and I haven't put this on the website yet. This is the fractal that I think we're possibly repeating. You can see this this fib circle, the peak, actually the top of this fib circle starts at the peak, comes down right down to where we pushed up. This trend line I have here just to show you the fractal, but you know, it comes from the peak down to where we pushed up. You see we were in this descending triangle. We were bouncing back and forth in it. we capitulated down, we found support on this ring, pushed up, got resistance. This right here is where we pushed up. We were in this descending triangle. We broke down from it. You see we had a pivot here. We had a pivot right here and a pivot here. It came back up, found resistance. So you can see this right here completely matches what's going on over here. Descending triangle comes from the peak down from where we pushed up. You know, we were bouncing up and down. We didn't make it all the way back up to the resistance, but we still were in this descending triangle, finding support right here. And this is the same support level where we found support right here. This is another descending triangle. And this line comes right down through where we pushed up. And you can see how well these match up. You know, we pushed up right here. Perfect straight line, straight down from where we capitulated right here. Straight down from where we capitulated right through where we pushed up. So if this is the case and this is playing out the same and it looks identical, support, support, support on this next descending triangle. This is your support right here, support on this triangle. We didn't come back down here, but you know, I do think this is a structure we're in. This right here we found support. We were kind of hugging the top of this, moving down. So, and you can see how well this yellow fib circle matches up. You got perfect support, resistance, resistance, support, perfect support, perfect resistance, perfect support on this ring, capitulated this ring. This is the 0.618. This is also where we capitulated here in 2014. This is the 0.618. This ring right here that we moved up and then started coming down ever since we crossed it, this is a 1.618. This right here, the one that we crossed where it was close to my capitulation ring, this is a 1.618. We're coming down, moving down this second descending triangle. So we're about to break out of this. So I think we have a lot lower to go than a lot of people think. So it's possible, you know, I just copied these bars patterns from over here, but I do think it's possible we go a lot lower than some people think. So, you know, I think 3,500 is very possible, but you know, it's possible we could drop as low as 2,500, potentially 1,800. So just be cautious, guys, but do pay attention. We just crossed this ring and we are moving down as I told you we would. We'll just have to see how long it takes for us to come down, but I do believe that around 6,100 is a good target. But I do think we're going much lower than that. Even if we push up a bit, we're going a lot lower, guys. But yeah, if you want to have me create stocks for you, you know, I did the Dow Jones, Facebook, Google, a lot of different charts. If you're interested in having me create any kind of stock charts or precious metal charts for you guys, contact me by email. My email address is in the description. I'm taking those by requests. And if you do want to learn how I create these charts, I do have tutorials showing you from scratch, from beginning to end, how I create these, how I find these, how I set up these fib channel charts. I use these fib channel charts to create these fib circles. I share in the tutorials how to do that. And then if you just want to access my charts, you know, you can just subscribe to my charts monthly if you want. But yeah, check that out, guys. And until the next video, that's it.